Hello everyone, Darkeyser here, welcoming you back to my latest episode of Space Engineers Survival. Well, it's been kind of exciting. While I was in the process of chasing down an enemy freighter, the freighter itself actually disappeared from my HUD, and I figured it timed out, despawned, whatever you want to call it, but it was gone. And I was somewhat disappointed because I'd gone through the effort of launching the Zephyr and flying all the way after it and getting to within a couple of kilometers. But then I noticed something called a bunker, which popped up on my HUD. And at that point, since I had never seen a bunker before, at least not in this particular game, I went ahead and took a look, zoomed in with my camera, saw that it had a few what look like interior turrets mounted on the outside. Those do a lot less damage and have somewhat less range than the regular Gatling cannons. So I thought that I could take it. I went ahead and managed to shoot off all of the exterior guns, in no small part due to the fact that I was carrying a dozen rockets that I had. They were the last of the rockets that I had managed to either salvage or produce. So until I get some platinum, I'm not going to be making any more. But I did manage to defeat the thing, and I thought, well, to the victor go the spoils. So I landed to take a peek inside and saw at least one interior gun. Didn't think that that was going to be too much of a threat until I realized that in preparation for leaving, I went ahead and I dumped off all my stuff, including grinders, welders, guns, ammunition, everything. And that's primarily because the last time I went out shooting at someone, I died, and I was unable to recover any of my bodily stuff. So I'm on my way back. I'm going to stop at the base. I've taken quite a bit of damage. My craft is on fire. The build and repair system, assuming that I haven't lost so many... Oh, boy. I have lost... I fear that I have lost a sufficient amount of thrusters that I can no longer remain aloft. Although it may simply be that I am almost buoyancy neutral, as the submariners would say. Basically, my ship is almost exactly at the point where it will maintain its altitude, assuming that there are no outside forces working upon it. So I'm going to try to get this thing back underneath its shelter, which will put it in the shelter of the defense turrets as well, and the build and repair systems are already in the process of repairing it, so that's good. Hopefully I didn't have anything except armor plate actually shot off. I do have to try to figure out how to get a projector mounted above the docking collar for this thing, so that if it does turn out that it gets pieces shot off, I can just go ahead and turn on... I can just go ahead and turn on the projector, and the projector will project the missing pieces over the hull of the ship, and then the build and repair system will just replace everything. That is somewhat more sophisticated than anything that I am used to, and we will have to see if I can manage that. Unfortunately, it looks like my docking camera was shot off, as well as my forward camera, so we're going to be doing this by hand. Trying not to crash into anything and do any more damage. But I am very pleased that the Zephyr seemed to perform well. I don't know if I would have been able to take down the freighter that I engaged, but the fact that I was able to outshoot the bunker at least made me happy. Now we have an unknown signal. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay. Now comes the scary part. I want to stop in. I want to grab some ammunition. I want to grab my welder. I want to grab my grinder. I want to grab my gun. I don't think I'm going to need a drill. Something I've been considering. I did not make myself a high-grade grinder primarily because, as I had mentioned in a previous episode, the high-speed grinders work so quickly that sometimes you simply cannot react fast enough and you wind up grinding away something that you did not actually intend to grind. And then you've gone ahead and damaged something. However, in this particular case, what I'm going to be grinding is going to be stuff belonging to the other guy. So we're going to see. This will be a lot better at grinding away enemy gun emplacements and enemy doors and so forth. Now this is going to be a somewhat risky proposition. Pink, really? Ugh. This is going to be a somewhat risky proposition. Primarily because this thing has no guns on it whatsoever. So interesting. I'm trying to make sure all of my lights are on. Thrusters are on. Okay. Now we are going to see just how angry I have made the neighbors. Did I hit that thing again? No, I guess not. Okay. I managed to mark the location. There it is. And fortunately, it's not near anything else. So hopefully, I will be able to just run out, grab whatever, and then run back. I know it probably will not work that way, but you gotta have a little faith once in a while. I am debating on whether or not I should put guns on this thing, if only to act as a form of defense should I happen to get broadsided while I am out on a retrieval mission or a repair mission. Things are getting active enough that I am beginning to think that traveling without any form of defense whatsoever is a little too hazardous. I invested way too much in the ship, and I am now suddenly reminded in the fact that I am going to have to make sure when I stop and get out that I've taken a blueprint of it, just in case. Uh-oh. MILT. That was the ship that I was looking at earlier, or at least some variant of it. I think that's also going in the other direction. So we shall hopefully not run afoul of that. Especially because my fighter is now in no condition to be shooting at an enemy. I shot down the antenna primarily because I am under the impression that these land bases can be interconnected, and as a result, I'm not sure if that's gunfire or if that's I have the build and repair system off. It may just be something short-circuiting. I know there's at least one interior gun. Okay. We're going to turn on the build and repair. I'm going to have to keep my eyes on my HUD to make sure that there's nothing evil and sinister floating around other than me. This thing has a tree growing in the middle of it. That's interesting. Fort Victoria cargo missiles, 200 millimeter. Oh, interesting. And I think this run... Ooh, sparks. This run may be the one that changes my mind about using build and repair as far as salvage is concerned. Because apparently I've already got everything out of the base, because now I'm grinding on armor plate, and I had instructed my build and repair to do armor plate last. Now it may simply be that I am out of range. So we're going to nose right up to this thing and see what we got. Why don't we go out and take a look? Okay. Oh, well, we had an assembler. Looks like we got a medical bay downstairs. Medical components are always nice. I tried not to shoot the thing up too badly. I'm still a little amused at the tree. Yeah, it looks like everything else in here has already been stripped out, which I don't mind at all. And then I lose my staircase. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward over this part, since this is probably going to take a few minutes and it's probably going to be more than a little bit boring. Well, that was certainly profitable. Now, I want to... I keep seeing these military ships come up that are just marked MILT. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not even sure if it's a ship. Oh, that's my docking camera. Oh, I don't have a forward camera. I see. Alright. Well, I'm going to... I've got a great big flat spot on the front of this thing, and I think it needs a camera. And I need at least a steel plate. So I'm going to come back here and grab a couple of steel plates. Why don't I just grab that? I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And I've been talking about having a belly camera anyway, so that I can look down and get a better idea of what I'm doing. Unfortunately, oh wait, no, that'll work. I think that'll work just fine. Now I think I have my build and repair system set. Be a build and repair salvage. Turn that back on, and I need to see, I think I just have it set to grind. Yep, grinding only. So we'll set it for grinding before welding, but it should still weld. There we go. Now the problem is we have camera 2, camera 3, we have 2 camera 2s. That is apparently my docking camera. So I want my docking camera to be there. Not sure what that is. Okay, that's my forward camera. And unfortunately, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually put my forward camera here because I don't use it nearly as often. This is a salvage vessel, so make sure, yep, that's the ground. Alrighty. Now I'm going to see if I can actually get enough altitude to see what the hell this thing is. Okay, it's not a ship at all. It's a military installation of some kind. I don't want to get too much closer to it, but I do want to see what it is. I, however, do not want to call a bunch of attention to myself. M-I-L-T. Okay. Well, what we're going to do, it looks like a fairly substantial installation. Well, what I am going to do, I'm going to fly to a point that is roughly equidistant between the military station, whatever that is, the installation, I suppose I should say, and cliffside. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop a GPS. That way I'll be able to find my way back. Okay, I'm at 2 kilometers. Oof, okay. I know that some of these installations trigger at different ranges. I think that's close enough. We'll delete that because I've already salvaged it. Okay, I think I've got the military base actually on my HUD. That's about 5 kilometers away. Make sure my back end isn't going to hit anything on the way down. Apparently I left my build and repair system on, and it has components in it that were not available before. Probably steel plate and so forth. I may be out of steel plate again. And so some of the base damage is suddenly finding itself being repaired. I don't mind that at all. I do need more light. I'll say some of the doors are down, which is a little odd. Something that I have to remember is that the reactor that is here in front of my field of view is at the bottom of a connector. That skews things a little bit. Now we're going to hook that up. Alright, we got all kinds of things going on all of a sudden. We have the V-55A Condor. We have... That is not a military installation. That is a moving vessel. That is a stationary thing. What kind of shape is the Zephyr in? It doesn't look too bad. How much I've got steel plates, so I'm going to see about repairing it. Because the last thing I want is to get my face shot off. I may not necessarily be using the right parts here. But we shall see. All right. There we go. It looks like all of my weapons are still intact, which is good. I'm pretty sure that's the wrong thing there. Yeah, that's the wrong thing, I think. Well, I'm in something of a hurry. I don't think I have any more rockets. I think all of my rocket ammunition is expended. Yep. I have one rocket remaining. So what we're going to do, I was under the impression I had more ammunition than this. However, it's entirely possible that my Gatling cannons have been eating up all of the rest of the ammunition. Oh, no, there we go. I'm going to set that for 7. I don't know if I'm going to have the platinum to produce them. Reload my guns. I don't know. I'm not sure why those are blast doors. Closed. I think it might not be a bad idea to close those anyway, all things considered. I'm thinking I may want to go after the base, but I may take the rover. And as I had mentioned in one or two previous episodes, I am in the process of preparing for a knee surgery. Yeah, that's a military transport of some kind. Fortunately, that's going to be leaving. I think I'm going to call it a win as far as the military stuff is concerned for today. As much as I think that I might be able to go out and actually take something, I'm not really sure, and tomorrow I'm going to be anesthetized, so might not be the best idea. But there you go. And when I return from my procedure, one of the first things I will be doing is taking a look at the military base and seeing if I can either infiltrate it or capture it or just blow all the guns off of it and strip it down. And then we have to see where we're going from there. But thank you very much for joining me. It was an impromptu session. As I said, I had not anticipated recording tonight because of the fact that I'm getting medically prepped. But Atlas frigate, I'd be willing to bet that that's a huge vessel, and we definitely don't want to mess with that. But we want to see what's going on. So, and I'll break out the projector. I'm going to see if I can't fit a projector up here to try to project over the Condor, or over the Zephyr rather, and actually, if I can, I might be able to accomplish it by simply moving this one closer. I'll grind this down and move it over, and then I'll just have to displace the... Oh, yeah, that'll probably work. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. I'll do that in the off-screen time tonight. Oh, we got Terminators falling all over the place. Thank you very much for following along, and thank you very much for supporting the channel. I will be back as soon as I am medically able, and then we'll be resuming when I come back, because I will be off of work for a couple of weeks. I will be having a somewhat more frantic schedule, and I will be trying to do more recordings to get caught up. Your comments and constructive criticism are always appreciated. Thank you for watching. As always, likes are appreciated, and subscriptions doubly so. This is Darkizer signing off.